Have you ever wanted to grow sweet potatoes, but you were intimidated by all the different methods to how to grow the slips? I'm going to show you today just how simple it is to do that, not using the glass jar with water or the little pot with the soil in it, but right in the ground. Let's go right into it and I'll show you how to do that. What we have here are our sweet potatoes that have been left in our pantry, and they've been there for months, right? Since probably like August or September of last year. Now we're at the end of April right now. And so they're starting to get these slips, okay? These are called slips. You don't actually want to plant the sweet potato whole when you're trying to grow sweet potatoes. You can do that, but it won't be as productive as just planting the slip itself, okay? Just this piece in the ground. The goal is to create slips, right? These vines that come off of this, and then later you take those off and then you'll plant those. In order to do that, you gotta let these slips grow and get to a certain size where they'll actually make it in the ground. The way that we found it's best is you wait till your last frost has passed, and then you're gonna take your sweet potatoes, and like for example, we used to plant our sweet potatoes the second week of April, and what we noticed is that they would be struggling and they wouldn't have really healthy looking vines on them because they love heat and they do not like the cold whatsoever. So if you got like nights, you know, that are in the 50s, 60s, they're not going to be very happy. As these grow, then we're going to come back and we're going to harvest the sweet potato slips off of these and plant them in the ground. And so we're going to go ahead and just find a spot in the garden. This is kind of on the edge of this little garden bed. And it doesn't have to even be in your garden. You could plant it out in, you know, some soil out in the yard. But I'm gonna plant this one here, and I'm just gonna leave that slip out of the ground like this. So this is a place out in the yard that's not cultivated like in our garden, and it's gonna be just fine. So we're just gonna stick this in the ground here, like this. And those slips are strong enough where they're gonna actually push out of the soil eventually. My motto has always been, don't overthink it. Right here, I'm just dropping these sweet potatoes in probably about 2-3 inches tops below the soil. And that gives them, you know, enough soil to where they can get the nutrients they need to grow the slips. Nothing fancy, just putting them in the ground and letting them do their thing. You can go ahead and water them if you don't have rain in your forecast. If you have rain in your forecast, it's not really necessary. One thing I've noticed over the years with using this method is that the slips grow so much faster than if you try to grow them in a jar. And the slips you grow from the ground always look so much healthier and strong. All right, we're gonna take some slips from right here to plant in a row on the other side of the garden. So I'm gonna come down here just like I always do, try to get at least 10 inches. All right, so we're gonna lift this up. I'm gonna show you. Go all the way down. The furthest you can go, see how these roots are already coming out of the side there? We're gonna go right below that, cut that right there. And then we're just going to remove the leaves like we always do all the way up. And we'll leave that like that. All right, so we're going to go again. We're pulling these vines up. There's roots right there popping right out. And there's another one here. See how it's got the roots? We cut right below that because that's going to give us a nice start putting them in the ground and not having to root them in a glass of water. So we got those all cleared up. Go ahead and take our leaves off. All right, put them in the water. All right, so this is a red variety. It's more of a bushing variety than a vining variety. You can kind of tell by the way it's coming up, how it looks. It's the same concept. You're just removing these lower leaves on the stem, just like that. And that one's ready to be planted. All right, now we're here right in front of the row where I have pulled and dropped these weeds that were in this bed. All the way down where you see dead weeds is a bed. And so we're gonna come in and lightly pull the soil aside and drop in our slips, and then we're gonna put a little compost and water them in. So I'm gonna start with these little bushing variety, the reds, and I'm gonna stick them in about that deep. Put soil in around them like that. Take just a little bit of compost, put it around the base of the plant, and then water it in. And we are planting these in the evening. That is so these plants will not get toasted by the heat of the day, and it gives them time to kind of settle in. So if you're wondering how far apart, we do 2 feet spacing. So I'm gonna take my next bushing variety here and go 1, 2. They recommend about 18 inches. We typically do 2 feet. That has always worked really well for us. So I'm gonna come in here. This soil is really nice and loose already. We do a no-till over here, so all the worms and different organisms keep this soil nice and tilled for us. So we're gonna drop it in just like so. Put a little bit of compost. Water it in. And remember to keep these things wet for a while until they get established. We'll bring out the soil like that, and then we're gonna drop them in just like so. Bury that vine. Bring compost. This video clip is a week later after I planted these slips, and I wanted to give you a visual because I know there's going to be skepticism on this whole thing because, you know, most people are used to cutting the slips, putting them in water, letting them root first, you know, completely root out before putting them in the ground. But I just wanted to show you all that this method works very well, and these plants are thriving even a week later. As long as you keep them wet and moist, then they do very well. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless you in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.